All right. So like I said, thanks so much for letting me record this. I got your request to chat, and so I am all yours. I'm really interested in hearing about your multi-million dollar brand and the products that you want to create, and see how we might be able to help you. So tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so the vision for Vanity Enterprises, for specifically Sigma Vanity, is we're trying to serve men, busy men who want to improve their appearance, but don't want to spend so much time like using products and doing all these different things. So we want to give them the 80/20 approach to starting off with skincare. So instead of having to use 10 million products in the morning just to have like, nice looking, clear skin, we want to give them the all-in-one. We're going to start off with like the first product. The idea we have in mind is an all-in-one skincare moisturizer, SPF sunscreen that has retinol, vitamin C, and hyaluronic acid in it. So that when they wake up in the morning, they take their shower, all they got to do is put this on their face and they're good to go. Their skin looks instantly refreshed, looks better. It's protecting them from sun damage. And over time, it's clearing up acne scars, reducing acne. It's evening out their skin tone, getting rid of hyperpigmentation. And going forward, we could either develop more products in the skincare domain or go into other directions. But the whole idea is to help men be more attractive without putting so much effort into it.
Sounds
And
good, and it sounds pretty unique. So how did you come up with this idea? Do you have products currently that you're selling and you're adding this to, or this is brand new?
so currently this is brand new, and it started with, I guess, myself, because if I just like turn around and like I got like I guess your podcast can't see this, but I have like a bunch of different products that I've been testing out. And I've started really getting into skincare a couple of years ago and realized that there's just too many different products to know about and figure out what's good for your skin and what's not, and sensitivity and all of this stuff. And I wanted something for myself so that when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to spend 30 minutes layering on skincare products. And I've realized there's a lot of my friends, a lot of men, a lot of professional men, busy men who hate being in front of the mirror every morning. So, and a lot of friends, a lot of men have been asking me for skincare advice, and I've been giving them the advice, and they've been able to, get rid of blackheads, clear up their skin, get rid of acne. And so it grew from helping myself and helping my friends. And now I want to be able to help out more men solve this problem.
That's perfect. It's perfect. So just so you know, I call it a podcast, but it's more just a recording because I'm
Okay.
recording my journey. So the video will be on there, probably be on YouTube if you're okay with that. And then
Yeah.
you know how YouTube will just convert it to a podcast. So for people listening, but people will also be able to watch it. I'm kind of doing this thing where you people can watch over my shoulder as I build a skincare brand. I'll talk about that in a minute. And just
Yeah.
in hopes that it helps them. So anything you show, people will be able to see. So
Yeah.
no,
Exactly what
all
I'm
of
doing as
this
well.
sounds good. Have you started to build an audience or anything yet?
Yes, I have about on my personal Instagram account, I have about 4.5K followers, and but I started a new page specifically for the business, Sigma Vanity. So that has currently about like 50 followers, and so I'm like pushing people from my personal page onto the business page.
Yeah.
So that's what's working right now, and I'm posting reels, so it's getting almost like between like 500 to 1,000 views, some of them overall, like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts.
And that's all skincare related or that's personal related?
Yeah, that's skincare related. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. I'll tell you why I'm asking these questions. Because I wear a couple different hats. I'm a little bit different of a person because my 30-second backstory is I started a skincare brand myself at the end of 2014, and I grew it, and then I wound up selling it at the end of 2020. I started out with a vitamin E oil based
Okay.
product, And then I grew that to a whole line of vitamin E serum. So it's vitamin E oil, a face cleanser, 2 moisturizers, one of which was an SPF, an eye cream, and a scrub. And so that just kind of grew over time. And then I sold it. And then after that, then I wound up acquiring the skincare manufacturing company, Novian Skincare Manufacturing. So I'm really a entrepreneur geek at the end of the day. I'm just kind of focused on skincare, but my passion is business and marketing and entrepreneurship and all that. So I'll be asking questions that you would think most manufacturers wouldn't ask, because I'm really interested in how you plan on selling it afterwards. Honestly, the easy part is getting the product made, formulated and made.
Yes.
Maybe not to you or to most people who are trying to do it, but that's the easier part. The harder part is making sure you have the right audience and that they want what you're selling and that they are going to buy it, because that's what's going to get you that Learjet that you're looking for, whatever your dreams are. So I'm just trying to make sure that you're thinking about these things or have a plan in place for those things, because if you don't, I would say, hey, let's figure those things out first. Then we can always come back and add the product in later. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. So that's really cool. That's awesome. So I'm actually following. When I emailed you, I told you that I got referred by Daniel Moran from Capital.
Yeah.
So I'm basically following his outline, and I'm part of the mastermind. And so getting a lot of guidance from them. And so the funnel basically is I'm filming reels and I'm documenting the journey. This is why I was completely down to film this, so that I can share this with my audience and so they can see that what we're trying to build, and post these reels, get traffic, send them to the email link, the squeeze page to get them on the email list for pre-launch. And then once we launch, continue building the audience using reels, and also maybe make longer form YouTube videos so that they can learn more about what we're about and learn more about skincare and improving your appearance.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I mean, and so you're in the incubator, Ryan's incubator.
The 1%.
The 1%. Got it. Yeah, no. So he's all about documenting the journey, and so between him and Russell Brunson, I'm documenting the journey too. Started doing that, so it feels good to do it. I don't know how much of it you've done now, but yeah. So like you said, I'm happy that you were down to do this too, because I think it can help. I think it can help both of us. So let me tell you a little bit about the manufacturing process, answer the questions you have, and then we'll just keep chatting. So we can definitely make whatever products that you want to make. We specialize in skincare, hair care, body care, and pet care products. And a men's line is something that we can, no problem with whatsoever. And the way that would work is that we would start out with working on the formula, and we would need to nail that down in order to move forward. The formulation fees run anywhere from $1,500 to $6,500, just depending on how complicated the formula is. If it's something pretty standard, something typical with just a few ingredients in it, it would be at the lower end. If you wanted some exotic plant from the south of France that we would have to order, then it'd be a little bit more expensive. But that formulation fee covers the first round of sampling. So we'll create samples for you and send them out to you, where you would let us know what you like, what you didn't like, if you didn't like the scent, or if it was too thin, or whatever it is, back and forth. We would do that up to 3 times, and then there's a small fee if you wanted to do it longer than that. But mostly 3 is enough to get people something that they're very happy with and proud of. And then I also found if you give unlimited, people will kind of just keep needling something to death without moving forward with it, because just because I know people, I know I get it. It was me. You're nervous. You don't want to put this thing out there, so you can just pretend like you're doing something by wasting time. When no one really cares. You just got to obviously get a minimum viable product out there, and then you can tweak it after the fact. Just whatever we come out with does not have to be perfect. We'll make it perfect. We'll make it great for you, but don't let that hold you up, So after that, after we settle on the formula, we'll also work on the packaging as well during that time when we get to the end of the process, just to make sure that we know, do you want it in a pump? Do you want it in a dropper? Do you want it, whatever it is that you're going to need it in? And we'll also put you in touch with some label manufacturers that you'll be able to work with in order to get your label designed. And then you can send that, then the label printers will send that directly to us to apply on the bottles. And then but from the time you say you pull the trigger, it's probably a good, let's say 6 weeks for us to get everything all made and ready to go with whatever you would want to do with it. At the end of the process, we can either hold on to it for you as a part of in our warehouse as a part of your pick, pack, and ship from, I take it you'll do something on Shopify perhaps.
Yeah, so it's either going to be Shopify or Amazon, depending on the pre-sale strategy.
Yeah. So we'll hold on to it for you if you like. And then when your Shopify orders come in, we will fulfill those for you. And then if you do Amazon FBM, fulfilled by merchant, we'll fulfill those for you as well. We can also package everything up with all the required expiration dates and stickers and things and case pack that to go into Amazon FBA, which is also a good idea. You should definitely consider doing that because a lot of people they're look for you on Amazon, and you'll want to be there when they're looking. Or we can just package everything up and send it to you, whatever you'd like. However many of them that you'd like to just do whatever you need to do on your end with them. And then the cost of that just depends on your final formula. And it will depend. And so that would require half the payment up front in order to get things started, and then half upon completion. And then you're off to the races. It sounds like you're building the audience, you're following Ryan, you're doing the pre-sales, you're doing whatever you need to do. Pre-sales is a great way to go, definitely, because it helps you fund the formulation, and it helps you fund the manufacturing of the process of the product. So I'll stop there and let you ask whatever's on your mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much. So one question about samples, I was just wondering, we talked about samples, but how many when we say samples, how many would I receive? Is there does that mean one sample or 10 or?
Yeah, so we can give you a few. There's not a set number. We can give you 3, 4, 5 samples of those. When you want to start, somebody asked me, okay, well, I want 100 samples. Well, then we have to charge for that, obviously, because it's a lot of material and a lot of ingredients and things. But if you want us to send you 3, 4, 5 different samples for you to give out to try to people, that's no problem. I mean, we're not stuck on 5 exact samples, but you needed 6 or 3, or anything that you would want reasonable, that's no problem at all.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I was asking about that is I was probably going to use the samples to maybe share them with some influencers or with some like my target audience, some close male friends, so they can try it out and maybe give their feedback. So that's good to know. Yeah,
just with that though, I'll just say real quick that the only challenge with that will be that it may not be in the final packaging that you would want it to be in, and it may not have the label it won't have the label at that point. So if someone that you want to try it can just understand that it'll be in basic packaging, not the finished product that you would be wanting them to post about or anything, then that should be good.
I think once they watch this video, they will know.
They'll know. Yeah.
Once they watch our conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's no problem. Sampling is no problem.
Okay, cool. I guess one of the things I know about vitamin C is we have to ensure that if we're using retinol, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, we have to make sure that it remains stable in the final product. So that's one thing I was always had in mind. So how do you ensure that the combinations used stay stable? Does it have more to do with the packaging?
Yeah, so it's a couple different things. So we do our own testing for stability, but this is not, well, it's not lab certified where you're going to get a certificate of
Yeah.
stability. Like we'll make it, we'll let with some ideas of formulas that we have done in the past. And so we'll make it and we'll let it sit for a period of time and just make sure that it's stable. Also, if you are using any kind of product that has water in it, so it's a water-based product, we have to put some sort of preservative in there so that that water doesn't get moldy. And so the preservatives that we use, there are some natural preservatives that are a little bit more expensive, or just like maybe 1% of a chemical preservative. We get stability testing and paperwork from the companies that we buy those preservatives from. And so we'll be able to provide you with their certificates and their analysis of their ingredients, but that won't be the whole product. So you will have the indication from the ingredients that they have been stability tested and the quality of those ingredients, and then we do it on our own. But if you would want, but what we can't do in-house is stability test the final product. That would have to go out to an outside laboratory. I think one of the reasons is that it's kind of like the chicken is the wolf is guarding the hen house or something. Like it's easy for you to say, oh yeah, my stuff is stable. You need a third party to test those things, because it's in your interest to say that it's stable, even if it's not stable, if we were to do it ourselves. But so we would have to send that out, and I think that can be quite expensive. I don't know the exact figures on that, but I don't think it's cheap to do.
Okay. Thank you. So one of the things so you're, what state are you located in?
In South Carolina.
South Carolina, right? Okay, so I'm in Canada. Now I may launch, depending on, which manufacturer I go with, I will probably launch either in the US or in Canada. So I know in Canada, there's like, when you add sunscreen to a product, it's considered a natural health product. I think it's like that in the States too. And so I think with SPF products, there are certain requirements, certain license requirements. Could you tell me more about that if you know?
Yeah, sure will. The first thing I'll say that you said, depending on which manufacturer you go with, and I think that I think you should go with the manufacturer that you could do a video with that allows you to express your journey and show your journey to everybody, meaning me, but I know you have your choice. We'll see if any other manufacturers let you document the journey. No, I'm teasing. So for the SPF, yes, changing gears here, SPF. So what we know is, and we have looked at other products. You had mentioned what you wanted to kind of model your products after in your email to me. And so we can use that combination of ingredients as well as others that we know to come up with an SPF rating, like come up with like a formula in math and stuff like that I'm not very good at. But my formulator will do all that and come up with something that's very close. But then again, we don't have a way to test that for it to be SPS 50. So we would get that made for you. Then you would have to have it tested somewhere that does what I'm not even sure how they test for SPF. But for example, there's ingredients that we know that have SPF 30 just naturally. And so when you put in the right concentration of those ingredients, it will give that SPF very, very close to it. But like I said, we don't have the ability to then take that formula and test it for specific SPF. When I had my SPF product, mine was SPF 30. We just put things that were in there. We made sure that it was SPF 30 based on the ingredients. I never had it tested. No one at Amazon or anything ever said anything to me about it. But again, maybe that was back in the day before they started checking. And I don't want to say just because I did it that way and it worked for me that it will work for you. I don't know. I think you may need to do a little bit more research on that to find out, because I definitely don't know what it would require to pass in Canada.
Okay, yeah, I guess to elaborate on that a little bit, it's I know that in Canada, when you're manufacturing like a sunscreen product, so there are certain products that are considered cosmetics, but when something has SPF in it, or like you want to say that, oh, it's a, you know, it's a sunscreen, it protects you from the sun,
Yeah.
it's considered a natural health product. It's a different category from just like a cosmetic, you know, just like a moisturizer. And so for NHP products, you need like a specific license to either manufacture or like to sell it. So I will look more into that. Maybe it's, I know it's in the States, it's different. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like FDA approved as
Yeah.
long as the correct ingredients are in there. So I guess that's something I'll do more research on. So other than that,
I'm wondering on that point though, if you could also just say that it has SPF protection in it without giving a
yeah,
number, you
there's
know?
ways to like play with the words and make
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
it's good. Okay. Um, yeah, so you kind of touched upon it. So do your products meet the regulations for selling on platforms like Amazon and Shopify? Do you have any experience like directly shipping the products to Amazon and making sure like all the packaging is ready to go and meets the regulations? Because I know you mentioned that. So could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, sure. So the first step is to make sure, well, for one, we use all natural and organic ingredients. And especially if that's important to you. You don't have to have them all natural. You don't have to have them organic, but that helps. I think one of the other thing people like to see is made in the USA. So that's true. A lot of people try to get their products made in China for cheap, but then you have the taxes, the import duties, and you have the time frame, and then people aren't really too keen about using something on their face from China. And so, but then then the main thing after those two things, the label is really important. So we'll work with you to make sure that you have the right words and things on the label, and make sure you're not saying things that you're not supposed to say, and has all the, you know, FDA requirements on the label. And then from that point, then yeah, we will send the stuff to Amazon for you, and that's no problem. We usually don't have a problem with that. If something has gone wrong, is Amazon just needs a little bit more information. They need an SDS sheet, or they want to see to make sure that we're legit, and so we just send them, you know, whatever you need, we'll help you get it in. They want to see someone, a real person, holding the bottle in their hand sometimes, or they need an invoice from us to show that you didn't just go buy this from Walmart and trying to resell it, anything like that. So we're happy to work with you on that. No problem.
Awesome. So what's your production capacity? Can you handle scaling up when the product becomes successful?
When the product becomes successful, exactly. Yeah, we can scale you up. We'll scale all the way up with you. What do you have in mind? 300,000 bottles a month?
Of course, absolutely.
There
At
you
least
go.
a month.
There you go. There you go. Just give us a little couple days to get there. But if if your launch is 300,000 bottles, we'll make it happen.
All right, awesome. That's good to know. So if we go into cost and pricing, how do you structure your pricing, especially for new brands that might have tighter budgets initially?
Yeah. So what we try to do is we try to help you as much as we can at the beginning, because I know that you need that money to do manufacturing and run Facebook ads and get Shopify set up and hire VAs and things like that to do the things for you. So we try to keep the formulation fee low for you. We also have very low MOQ, minimum order quantity. Most people will have 5,000 or 10,000 bottles, and we only have 1,000 bottles to start. So that should help you out as well. And then once we give you a formula and we come up with the price of it, it could be outside of what you're looking for. And then you could say, hey, I need this to be a little bit cheaper. And then we can just easily go back. If it's not too complicated, we can go back and say, okay, well, you really like this, but let's swap out the sunflower oil for apricot oil because it's a little bit cheaper. So we can help you do that as well. But it sounds like you're going to have a premium brand and you'll be charging a premium for it, especially following Ryan's model. And so the price shouldn't be, I don't want to say the price shouldn't be an issue, because it's always an issue, but you're going to be charging a lot of money for this product. You know, you're not trying to create a race to the bottom, cheapest product price. And so, you know, and that was important to me when I started my brand. I had the most expensive product in the market, which allowed me to take care of people and run Amazon ads and do all kinds of other things that my competitors are selling their bottle for $9, and I'm selling mine for 20 and $30. So I could just do things that they couldn't do, and I had a margin in there for keeping people happy and paying the Amazon fees, and so the product could be a little bit more expensive and a little bit more expensive and therefore a little bit better. And people like that. You can tell the difference between a $9 bottle of something and a $30 bottle of something.
The more you charge, the more you can help people out.
Yeah, exactly.
More resources to help them out and solve their problem.
Yeah. And the product is usually better too,
Exactly. Yeah.
Better and or just perceived as better.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And so once the product is launched and we receive feedback, so we sell out the first 1,000, how easy is it to make iterations or changes to the formulation or packaging based on customer feedback?
Yeah, that's easy peasy. So we are, I call us a boutique skincare manufacturing company. So people have my text, they have my phone, they just, hey, we want to change this out. We jump on the phone with with my formulator, my partner, and that's super easy to do. Just have to remember there'll be some label issues in there as well, but you'll be making money by then. And we may even be able to change things out to where the concentration of the ingredients won't change in the formula, and therefore it won't have to change on the label. But if it does, we'll just have to get more labels. But that's a good problem to have. People are giving you money, and you have money from when the first 1,000 sell out. So that's easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how much more time you have. Can we keep going?
We can keep going. I'm here as long as you have. The only thing that I have to do is, I'm cheap, and so I only have the free Zoom, and I think it only lets you record for like 35, 40 minutes. So if it says we need to stop, we'll just stop, and then we'll just jump back on again, because I can start up another one fairly easily. So as long as you've got questions, I've got time.
Cool. Awesome. Can you provide examples or maybe small case studies of similar products you've helped bring to market, or like what challenges those brands face and how you help them navigate the challenges?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you're asking me for specific brands. I'm not allowed to share.
No, you don't have to share any. No.
Yeah, share the brands with you unless they agree to it, and they haven't. But just case studies and things, challenges that people have. I touched on it a little bit at the beginning. And so what the hardest part for people to do is to sell the stuff after they have manufactured it. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of my first questions to you. What kind of audience do you have? And then my next question is, how do you, what's going to make this different than any of the other products that are out there? And it sounds like what makes it different, if I heard you correctly, is the all-in-one aspect of it. So if you just be able to bring out that it's easy, this is super easy. You don't have to do all this other stuff. And then, once you use this stuff, what's that?
It's the one step it's the one-step routine to get clear skin, celebrity-like skin. Exactly,
celebrity-like skin. And then you're like, this is super easy, and you use this on your face, and then you'll look as good as I do. If people are only so lucky, but they'll buy right away. And you have the audience. I think you're doing a good thing. Even if you can't move everybody from your personal brand, personal Instagram over to the business Instagram, you can still put that message out on Instagram. Yeah. And that helps. The audience is so important. So I think that's the biggest challenge. People with no audience and nothing to differentiate themselves from anybody else, and then no knowledge of, running out of time. You see, I got another couple minutes here. What's that?
Yeah, it's showing me 9 minutes left.
9 minutes. Okay, we'll stop in 5, and then I'll start another one. And then I can do some fancy editing to where it all works out. But yeah, and so, or they don't know how to, like, people that can run Facebook ads or have some experience with paid media, they can usually make most things work. They can make a subpar product look great because they just know how to sell it using paid ads. So I think those are the challenges. I mean, you will have a great product, and if you have an engaged audience, which it sounds like you do, you're not shy about getting in front of the camera or pushing it or telling how great it is. And that it seems like you have everything lined up already, and you're doing the right things. You're doing the right things now.
Awesome. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Got that. All right. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. So you've mentioned like you're not just like a manufacturer, like you also offer all these other services to help brands get off the ground. So along with like the private labeling, the labeling and shipping, warehousing and all of that, do you also offer any other services like either marketing assistance, photography, product listings, maybe on Amazon, or insights into best-selling skincare trends?
Yeah, so you would think that I had talked to you ahead of time and that I had planted you this question. I'm right in the middle of launching a done for you service where we do everything for you from start to finish. So it includes all the Amazon setup. It includes the pictures, the enhanced brand content, it includes the listing, the keyword research, includes the picture, the formulation fee. I don't even have the list up because I didn't think you were going to ask that question, and it's so new. If I knew, I would have my whole sales pitch for get yours now and for only, but I don't. So you'll have to forgive me. It's so new. And then the thing that I haven't quite figured out is, so that's all that stuff that we can do everything. It's just the whole 9 yards. That gets you up to getting the product launched. What I also know people need is after the launch support. And so one of the things that I'll be offering is like a monthly mastermind, where a weekly, actually, a mastermind where we get together with other people who've joined the mastermind, like a skincare mastermind, to talk about what's working, what's not, get unstuck. Here's what you need to do. Look at this, things that I've tried. So I think that's what will really help as well. Because like I said, the easier part is the product part. It's the after part that you may need help with. And so that's in the works as well.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it was just meant to be. I mean, if we work together, that's something you can help me develop along the way, and I can give you feedback, and that's actually really cool. It works out.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, those are like the questions I had written down. If you have other questions, or we can just discuss more about getting things started, or I'm open to listening or discussing further.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna take a pause for 1 second, just so I had a place that I can edit if necessary. Yes, so I'm still recording, but this probably won't be on the thing. I'm just curious, when it always helps me be better. I'll talk quick so that if we run out of time. As you've been looking at other manufacturers, what have you liked about them or not liked about them?
Sometimes it's they have like I spoke to some manufacturers and they say like you need to have like some are specifically designed towards like physicians and stuff. So they're like, oh, you need to have like a medical license and this and that. Some of them ask for which I'm not a doctor, so I can't work with them at all. Some of them have really high minimum in order quantities, like 10,000 just to start off, which like I'm not going to. It's too big of a risk to take in the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially some of them being overseas. So I think one of the important aspects is definitely like I would like somebody that's in North America, especially for a product you're going to be putting on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them have just really high initial fees just to make samples. So like I'm gonna like open up an email and just like let's see what this like one yeah, it's just basically they just have a lot of steps to take just to get started. And oh yeah, this I'm reading from an email. It says this process typically takes 9 to 12 months to complete. So that's really crazy to me because I need to
wow.
like I want to launch in like within a few months, like maximum, like, get
Yeah.
things moving so I can
Yeah.
start with sales or whatever. So somebody, like a lot of manufacturers telling me it's going to take like 3 to 6 to 12 months is just, it's
That's
just
a
crazy.
bit. Yeah, no, there is a big crazy. They're obviously not entrepreneurs, I think,
Yeah.
and so yeah, no, that's that. Like I created this company just for this reason, to help entrepreneurs get their products off the ground. And so you have to be nimble, you have to be quick, and you have
Yeah.
to to want to help. 9 to 12 months, that's a
Yeah.
little bit ridiculous. I mean, we can have you up and running in, well,
Yeah.
it's up to you how quickly that you want to go, really.
Yeah. You mentioned like 6 weeks about like,
Yeah, yeah.
once we pull the
I mean,
trigger. Yeah.
the sampling time, sampling it takes the longest time
Okay.
because you'll start dragging your feet and just because you want it to be perfect. And I understand, but it will take nowhere near that amount of time.
Yeah. Ryan's been telling me you just get started and you can always iterate
Yeah,
over time.
exactly. We just make changes. Yeah.
Mhm. Other than that, I think communication is one of the biggest things where like I've had the best communication with you so far, even just through emails, like the
Yeah.
back and forth, quick responses, and we've had a back and forth of like 5, 6 emails, whereas like other manufacturers, like they'll take days to reply, and then they'll just be like, oh hey, yeah, just book this call, and like minimal information about anything. They don't have any information on their websites either. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are
Well,
a
I
few.
think you're kind of hardcore though, because you emailed me on a Saturday, I think. Uh,
Yeah,
it's like you're
like you
working, and
replied back.
I think I emailed you back on a Saturday too.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow, this is a green flag.
Well, like if he's emailing me on a Saturday, I can, because I can be a little bit crazy, business people are a little bit crazy. I'm like, if he emailed me on a Saturday, I can email him back on a Saturday because I normally would not, I'd pretend and like I would write you back and then I would schedule it to go out on Monday morning so I look like a
Yeah,
normal person. But I'm like, but you emailed me, so that means I can
we're
email you.
entrepreneurs, always working. That's
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Anything else? What else can I tell you?
um, I think.
Whereabouts in Canada are you?
Sorry.
Whereabouts in Canada are you?
Yeah, I'm in the Quebec,
In Quebec.
Montreal, Quebec. So yeah, the laws here are pretty crazy. Like sometimes it's difficult just to like get things going in Quebec, which is why I'm thinking about either launching all over Canada or just the States.
Yeah.
Because in Quebec, it's like you need to have everything done in French. So it's like if we're working with anybody in English, I would have to also get somebody to convert everything into French to sell it over here.
All right. Yeah. I was on Amazon in Canada, and honestly, the sales were not that impressive to me.
Okay.
Like it was a lot of work because I had to get registered in each of the provinces, and then I had to pay the taxes in each one at a separate time. And how do you track that? And I was like, oh my God. It was, and it wasn't making that much money. Europe was much better, but that was a headache as well. We got a minute. So when it shuts off, we'll just call it quits. Unless you want to talk more, I'm happy to talk more.
We can talk more, for sure.
Okay.